When we think about creativity, it's easy to picture the end results, a stunning painting, sculpture, weaving. But what about the messy middle? The part where things feel clumsy, uncertain, and far from perfect. Too often, we shy away from this side of creativity because it doesn't fit the polished image we've been taught to admire. But embracing the ugly parts of the creative process is not only necessary, it's where real growth happens. Hi, I'm Carrie. Here on Artist Strong, I help self-taught artists draw or paint anything they want. To date, thousands have joined the community. If you feel like gaps in your learning hold you back from making your best art, sign up and watch my workshop, How to Create Art from Your Imagination. It's completely free, and the link is in the description below. Today, let's discuss how social media curation, our mindset, and perfectionism impact our ability to cope with that messy middle. When did we start believing that creativity always has to look polished, that every step of the journey must be Instagram perfect? People talked about the ugly parts of painting, writing, or any creative endeavor, but do we really embrace them? Recently, on a recent Friday, I held my first YouTube Live. I had grand visions of what that experience would be: a flawless slideshow, witty commentary, engaging questions, and even a live demonstration. But as the week progressed, reality hit. I could either deliver something that genuinely helped people or spend all my time polishing the presentation. I chose the former. If you're curious about that live workshop, it's now up on our YouTube channel. It's all about how to apply another artist's style to your own work. It's not perfect, but it's useful, and that's what matters. I've made sure to link it here and in the comments below. This decision made me reflect. Do we avoid the messy, uncomfortable parts of creativity because we're told they're wrong, or because discomfort feels like a sign to stop? That's not how making art works, and yet we internalize the opposite. Creativity should be easy, smooth, and aesthetically pleasing. If it isn't these things, we must not be very good at it, and then ultimately, why bother? Growth is messy and sometimes ugly. I'm beginning to realize the ugly parts of creativity are where the magic happens. When you try something new, there will be missteps. That's part of the process. In fact, you may find beauty and ultimately your voice in those so-called mistakes you make. We can get so uptight about matching image references, or somehow making an image reference our own, or only making art from our imagination, that we lose sight of the bigger picture. And it's when we relax and are in a flow state, we loosely capture likeness in a portrait without feeling married to the photo, for example. And it's that loose mark making that draws people to your work, as well as helps people identify the work as yours. Whether it's attending a live drawing session for the first time, sketching in a coffee shop, attempting your first portrait, or experimenting with an unfamiliar medium, these moments of discomfort are evidence of growth. Over time, you might even start to enjoy the messy parts. They become testament to your willingness to learn and evolve, and they begin to showcase the traits and qualities of your work. That is your unique voice and style. Every time I receive a rejection from an art application or struggle with creating an artwork, I now have a mantra I repeat. All of these mistakes or failures are the stepping stones to the future I want, which means I can't have the future I want without them. Our society's perfectionist values tell us there's a right way to be creative. This mindset stifles expression and keeps us from pursuing our passions. I recently listened to an interview with Chase Jarvis on the Brainy Business podcast, which I'll be sure to link below. He shared a heartbreaking story. In second grade, he overheard a teacher telling his parents he wasn't creative and should focus on academics and sports. From that moment, he stopped all his creative activities, even though he had been making short films and creating comics as a child. It is a strong reminder that our words have power. Too many people, part of Artist Strong, have shared horrible stories of teachers, friends, and family saying something that slowed or even stopped them from showing up for their art. Stories like this break my heart as an artist, teacher, and parent. They remind me how deeply ingrained these unspoken rules are about what's acceptable to pursue. One of the biggest regrets Bronnie Ware mentions in her book, The 5 Regrets of the Dying, is that people wished they had been true to themselves instead of conforming to others' expectations. Even knowing this, I still struggle with it. Years of internalized messaging don't disappear overnight. I'm working on an art project called the Primary Caregiver Project. I have outlined everything from the budget to a crowdfunding strategy, but I'm scared to host my first caregiver circle event. Why? It's new. I want it to be good. I know my first attempt won't be perfect. Despite teaching others that growth is uncomfortable, I still wrestle with the discomfort of my own growth. What will people think? What if it goes poorly? What if I accidentally offend someone? My inner critic loves to bombard me with these worries. By sharing my struggles, I hope to normalize yours. Saying these fears out loud not only helps me confront them, but also encourages you to face yours. We can let fear hold us back, or we can choose to move forward, messy and imperfect as it might be. Today, I invite you to take action. Don't wait for a major life crisis to force a change. Your art, your ideas, and your voice matter, including all the uncomfortable, ugly parts in between. Those moments of doubt and imperfection are signs of growth, transparency, and authenticity. For me, this looks like sitting down with my calendar and noting I have dedicated the month of March to my art. So I will schedule at least one online caregiver circle event and reach out to a local group where I might offer it in person. What can taking that scary step forward look like for you? The next time you feel stuck or afraid to share your work, remember this. Embrace the process. Ugly, messy, and awkward moments are part of the journey. They don't mean you're failing. They mean you're growing. This work we're doing, it's the true stepping stone to the future work you imagine making. One big uncomfortable step at a time. You don't have to do this alone either. This is what we cover inside my program, Self-Taught to Self-Confident, where you learn how to draw or paint anything you want. If you are an artist with a home studio who has taken Paint Like Me classes and think of yourself as a hobbyist, but have this question of what if, and you feel like there's something more for you, I have an A to Z or Z method that walks you through filling in gaps in your foundations and how to show up regularly to make art that comes from your mind. You walk away with a series of artworks that showcase your unique voice. Get a taste of my teaching and learn more when you sign up for my workshop, How to Create Art from Your Imagination, which you can watch for free. It's time to embrace the calling in your heart to do something more with your art. The link is here and in the comments below. Creativity is not about achieving perfection. It's about showing up, trying, and allowing yourself to grow. The ugly parts of the process, the missteps, the doubts, the discomfort, are proof that you're moving forward. By prioritizing process over appearance, challenging perfectionism, and embracing vulnerability, you pave the way for authentic growth and connection. So let's raise a toast to imperfection, to the courage it takes to start, to keep going, and to embrace the beauty in the mess. Your art and your voice matter, and the world needs them just as they are. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button and subscribe. And if there's a new topic you want covered, be sure to share it in the community tab here on YouTube or in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember, proudly call yourself an artist. Together, we are Artist Strong.